So Newegg just launched a trade-in program for graphics cards, and at a first glance, this program seems like a pretty good idea. I mean, if you're in the market for an upgrade, and you've got a GPU on this list, then you can trade it in and recoup some of that cost. However, after looking at it more closely, it's not a program I would recommend if you're thinking about getting rid of your previous generation GPU. Let's discuss that in this video. Hey, if you enjoy content like this, drop a like, make sure to subscribe, and smash that bell so you never miss another video. Hey, what is going on guys? Danny here, welcome back to the channel and I hope you've all been doing well. There's no denying that when it comes to PC parts, more specifically GPUs in this case, we're seeing an uptrend in pricing, where once a solid mainstream GPU would cost you around $200 to $250, and now it costs around $500. Or when you could get flagship level performance at around that $700 mark, and now you're looking at paying well beyond $1,000. For the folks who are into PC gaming as their primary hobby, it makes things difficult if you like to upgrade to new generation hardware to play around with. Now, one way people make the upgrade process more feasible for themselves is by selling off old hardware to recoup some of that cost. This can be done on online marketplaces like eBay, or locally through Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, or Craigslist. I remember back in the day when I was really into iPods, I would always want to upgrade to the next generation, and with Apple it was pretty easy to time their releases, so I would sell my iPod right before the announcement of the new version so it would still retain most of its value, and I'd upgrade to the new one for really next to nothing. If you're someone who's always looking to upgrade to the next big thing or the new generation, then selling your old hardware prior to the release of the new one is a pretty nice way of being able to attain that next gen component without technically paying the full price or offsetting the cost. This is a very common thing, not in just the PC gaming community, but in basically any consumer product industry, whether that be game consoles, car parts, tools, clothes, you name it. When there's usually a large and healthy market out there for that specific type of product, what you'll sometimes see is retailers themselves will offer to buy your used product off of you to give you store credit that you can use towards the latest product. Sounds like a great way to bypass that hassle of going through the used market and dealing with the whole bargaining song and dance. But there is a catch to that, which we'll discuss later on in this video. Now, Newegg has recently launched a trade-in program where you can buy a GPU, use their trade-in submission form to see if you have a GPU that qualifies for the program, send it their way, and if approved, they'll give you a partial refund towards the purchase of your new GPU. This in theory sounds like a great way for people to easily upgrade to the current generation RTX 40 series or AMD's RX 7000 series GPUs. What I also like is that they'll even send you a prepaid UPS shipping label, so you don't even have to pay extra to ship your card to them. Now keep in mind, this program is only available to customers residing within the US. As for the list of cards that qualify, you'll see that basically the entire RTX 20 and RTX 30 series generation of video cards are there from Nvidia's side, and as for AMD, you have their RX 5000 and RX 6000 series. So not too old, but hey, if you've got an RTX 2080 you bought in 2019, and you're like, hey, I want to use this towards an RX 7800 XT, then you can take advantage of this program. However, where things get wonky with this program, and the catch here is when you take a look at the estimated trade-in value for these graphics cards. Here's an example. For an RTX 3090 with 24GB of VRAM, the estimated trade-in value is listed at $457. This value is absolute garbage. If we go on a website like ebay.com and look for RTX 3090s, you'll see that many of them are selling for around $700 to $800, which is a significantly better return than what Newegg is offering. These guys are estimating the trade-in value for RTX 3080s at $292, when you can easily get $100 to $150 more than that just by selling the card yourself using eBay or local trade marketplaces. I know the argument some people here will make is that by selling your card to Newegg, you don't have to go through the whole hassle of selling it yourself, meeting up with a buyer, letting them test it, negotiating, or dealing with lowballers. And I get it, that can be annoying, especially if you don't have much time on your hands. But considering how low the prices are, I would say it's definitely worth it to put up with the process of selling the card yourself for the extra $100 to $400 depending on the GPU model you have. Also, you have to keep in mind that the prices listed here are an estimated trade-in value, which really means it's the best case scenario they're offering. Because remember, when you send in your card, they still have to inspect it, and I'm not saying they're going to deliberately do this, but if your card has some scratches or something happened to it during shipping that you didn't know about that caused some cosmetic imperfections on it, then they could be like, hey, your RTX 3080 is actually worth $200 because of a minor dent or scratch or scuff. As a business, they don't want to give you as much money as possible in order to turn a profit. Newegg on their site sells certified refurbished GPUs, and the prices on those cards is also terrible. They're selling a certified refurbished Gigabyte Eagle RTX 3080 10GB model for $600, when they're only offering up to $292 from their trade-in program. That's a nice 100% plus markup. And if people are actually buying these certified refurbished GPUs from them, then they're making a killing on profit. Here's another example. They're selling a refurbished MSI Ventus RTX 2060 8GB for $210. Meanwhile, on their list from the trade-in program, they're valuing 8GB RTX 2060s at $110, or they could be lower considering what we just talked about. Essentially, what Newegg are doing here is they've adopted the car dealership or GameStop strategy. You know, where if you bought a newly released game and didn't like it, then you go to trade it in the next day to GameStop, they'll offer you like 15 bucks for it, a game that just came out, and then flip it by selling it for $10 cheaper than a new sealed copy. It's basically that.
Okay, so for all of this, it looks like it's going to be $32.
$32. $32.
Oh, my bad. And 17 cents.
30 plus games. $32. A motherfucking Nintendo Switch, this shit just came out this week. $32.
And 17 cents.
You know you ain't quit playing with me.
And there was this whole controversy with GameStop where they pressured employees to lie to customers to sell them used copies and hardware. It was terrible, not gonna get into it, it's a different topic, but you can easily look it up. Newegg is essentially offering you peanuts for your GPU, then they're gonna flip it themselves at a much higher rate. This is more desirable to them as opposed to new because profit margins on new GPUs is very slim, which is why they try to push add-ons or services like warranties because that's just pure profit for them. Along with that, when you take a look at the terms and conditions of the trade-in program, it just makes it worse in my opinion, and it's another reason why I would recommend staying away from it. In the first paragraph, they state Newegg reserves the right to 1. Require you to pay the return shipping costs, or 2. Recycle the trade-in devices without compensation to you if you do not respond with payment for return shipping costs within 3 days of being contacted by Newegg. How they'll contact you is through email, and if for some reason the email gets falsely flagged as spam and goes to a spam folder, which to be fair isn't checked often, then you may not end up seeing that email and Newegg will just end up recycling your GPU. Furthermore, they state that you agree that all determinations of Newegg with respect to trade-in and credit value assigned to the trade-in device after its inspection are made in Newegg's sole discretion and will be accepted as final and are not negotiable. Meaning if they give you an offer, you gotta take it. And if you don't like it, tough luck because it's out of your hands now. They'll just process the partial refund to your new GPU purchase and then close your case. They're not guaranteeing you'll see the full $292 value on the list. They might just give you $200 for your RTX 3080, and when you inquire, they can just say that yeah, there were some scratches on the card, so it devalued it further. And you can't say that, well, no, I don't accept that offer. Just send me my card back so I can sell it myself. They're gonna be like, it's out of your hands. This is the offer. You have to take it, and we've already processed the refund. You also have to ensure that your card arrives to their facility in working conditions. So if the courier service damages it, which, isn't uncommon, then your trade-in will be rejected. You'll have to pay shipping to have Newegg send it back to you, and then you're going to be left with a broken card and a lengthy claims process dealing with the shipping services. And as an individual who's had experience dealing with shipping claims, it's not fun. But to be fair, these things can also happen when trying to sell your card on eBay, and PayPal is also very consumer-sided, so there's that trade-off. I personally recommend just using local marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace because you can meet up with the buyer, show them it's working, have them test it out, and both parties can come to a more concrete agreement. And hey, if the deal doesn't work out, the most you've lost is just your time. You won't have to worry about incidents that can occur during the shipping process of your card, and also can get way more money as opposed to the abysmal values offered by Newegg's trade-in program. But you also have more headroom to negotiate or be firm with the pricing you want as opposed to being at the mercy of Newegg's offers. In conclusion, while Newegg's trade-in program for graphics cards may initially appear as a convenient way to offset the cost of upgrading to the latest GPU, a closer look reveals several drawbacks. The estimated trade-in values offered by Newegg often fall well below what you can fetch through alternative platforms like eBay or local marketplaces. Furthermore, the terms and conditions of the program, including the potential for unexpected email issues, leading to the recycling of your trade-in device and the non-negotiable determination of trade-in value after inspection, makes it a less appealing option. Additionally, the risk of shipping damage and the possibility possibility of receiving less than the estimated value further complicates the matter. Therefore, I recommend exploring other avenues, such as local marketplaces for selling your old GPU, where you can have more control over the process and potentially secure a better return on your hardware investment. While it may require some extra effort, the benefits of doing so outweigh the limitations of Newegg's trade-in program. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember to make informed decisions when upgrading your PC components. If you guys found this video to be informative and entertaining, then leave a like. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Be sure to check out the video description for cool links and ways to support the channel, such as using my Amazon affiliate link. And if you're interested in seeing more content like this, then consider subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.